All right, y'all. So, guess what I found? This article is where we're going to focus at today, right here. And as we do this particular exercise, energy, however you want to call it, we're going to focus on here. Okay. So, if I put it up closer, maybe y'all can get a good little but this is where it's gonna focus. Like, um, I don't think y'all gonna be able to see it that well. Okay, so I apologize for that. But anyway, this let's see how um okay, and this is that's actually cute. So maybe we'll do that one a little bit later too. But okay, so the Succiolini family maintains a quiet life in Solomeo, the tiny Italian town where Brunellio Succiolini, the family company, is based. But 3 years ago, the cameras arrived, and Brunello, the gracious visionary, a documentary drama hybrid, brought Giuseppe Tornatoro, the director of the Oscar-winning Cinema Paradiso, to town. The film tells the designer's life story while also introducing Frederica, Carolina, and Camellia, the other members of the exceptionally close family, to the world. Suscellini's daughter, Carolina, is a vice president and co creative director of the brand, while her older sister, Camellia, is vice president and co head women's creative director. And Frederica, Bonerio's wife, retired at 65 after a long career with the company. Though she continues to be involved, the film reflects the major role she played in building the house. The sisters weren't obligated to join the business, Camellia insists. Although our parents left us absolutely free to choose what kind of career we wanted to pursue, we were born and bred in the company. We have always been part of this world, she says. Hannah Tour took a fascinating approach to the story. In addition to documentary footage, moments from Bernario's life, including his rural upbringing, as dramatized, with actors playing him at different ages. Our father wanted the movie because although he had written a book, he felt the movie would reach a wider, younger audience, Camellia says. He wanted to convey this message about the philosophy that our company is rooted in. It is a message of hope, of believing in one's dreams. It is the dramatized scenes woven through the movie. Camellia and Carolina have been able to see moments of their father's life from before they were born. It has been extremely enchanting to see some situations that we had heard about only through stories, Camellia says. He keeps telling us about his life at the barn where he spent the first years after he finished school. We knew about it, but only from his recounting. Whereas now we've had a chance to actually see the set that was reconstructed in such an accurate and painstaking way. And so it was nice to step into our father's life as a young man. And I bet that it is. And I mean, I like that because when I think about like some of the ideas that I see with my own father, it's different to kind of envision them before anything that had to do with us as their children or even just getting older as well. It's something like you just never really think is going to happen. And to actually see it unfold before your own very eyes is like extremely eye opening. It's like you feel as though you'll never really get to that point. But when you do eventually actually arrive there, you're kind of sort of devastated that it actually went as fast as it did, or things are happening as quickly as they were. That's one of the things people be like, you're overnight success. Like, no, at that moment, you're really craving to kind of sort of feel like, okay, we're here, we made it, we made it. And then all of a sudden, when it is here, it's like, wow, it all just happened so quickly. But you was just like, there, what's the hold up? So it's always like that catch 22. And the fact that this is Italian based, we were just talking about the Italian Mafia and things of that nature. So you can really see that they really have a long, strong communal monetary pool. You know what I mean? If this is a really successful house of a creator and fashion house or whatever else this article was discussing, then you can only imagine, like, you know what I mean, what's dibbled and dabbled in at this particular point in moment in time. And girls are always like this. Whenever girls are feeling like there's a threat, they always are like, I was born and bred in this. You know what I mean? Like, you feel their energy from there. And that's some of the things that I've always noticed with girls. They're very competitive. And you ever heard of the girls who actually sabotage the other women in order to get what they want? That's exactly what some of this energy feels like. And you know what's sad about that too? It takes you back to slavery. And that's where the mafia starts to get into. You see what I mean? How deadly these ideas are. And so again, when you think about the slavery moments and you go way back into that type of idea, you realize that you see that they talk about old money. Old money is money that stemmed off slavery. So if the black people were not really allowed to have that type of idea, is basically a plantation worker. The owners of the slaves are the white people who own the cotton fields and things of that nature that make the shirts and the garments and whatever else. That is where the old money stems from. We help create old money for a different type of audience member, and that's why normally we don't have as much, and that's why they have as much as they do. It's based off the work that we did. Isn't that like the most shocking idea that's ever been lived around? And then when you go to these places, try to you feel like you kind of put your foot into the door or whatever else, you're met with such a hostile force. That is so sad. It really is. And when you say you're one of the greatest people that you ever met is usually the poorest. And it's like, well, hold on. Whoever said that I had to be poor? Whoever said that there was something about you doing what you were doing, and that really creates that moment where you're like, okay, wow, you thought that this really wasn't real, and you know what I mean? But oh yeah, it was, and so there's really no getting around that. And then, and I've also noticed that most of the white women, and I'm Italian, whatever, that I ever have met, normally believe all of them that black women are beneath them. They are literally so warped in their mindsets. Like their thinking pattern is literally all white women believe black women are somewhere below them. And it's so sad. I mean, I've seen it encountered this type of behavior rather repeatedly in a much higher number than I ever thought it'd be something that is even necessary. So, and again, that just goes to show you that that's where some of that energy comes from. I've seen this so many times. I was just thinking about this other day. The girl who was in the Ever 21 and I was out in Menor, Ohio, and she was such a bitch. You know what I mean? I did not like this girl, and she hated me too just as much. And so I was like, okay, well, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm not about to sit up here and go back and forth with no hope. I don't. That's just not me. I'm not about to do that. And so she knew that. And so the best thing that she felt that she could do was make everything hard for me. She wanted me gone. She wanted to fire me. And I actually ended up calling Forever 21 and I had a complaint about something. I wanted to speak to that particular person in that department. But of course, nobody ever fell through. And she was so adamant to wanting to make sure that I know, I've been here this amount of years, so I don't know what you think. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So that's what we come to have to stoop to. I don't, how many years your ass been here? So you saying some shit ain't bitch ain't nothing but a number. I've been in this motherfucker for 36 years. Ain't what you saying? What? Who gives a damn about a year for real, for real? Like, bruh, go ahead on. And now all of a sudden I was just watching my girl, what is that, Love Your Natural page, and she was just having a moment and she had commented on the Forever 21 scenario. And that's how I learned about it. I was like, oh wow, wait a minute. I know she did just say all the Forever 21s is closed. Bitch, now your ass out of it. I was like, you gonna do? Because last I checked, you was a bitch. You in the whole category. Period. So now all of a sudden, bitch, you in the same boat. You rocking with the same shit, but one's attitude was fucked up and one's wasn't. I didn't drop no many years, bitch. I just all this people, bitch. I know Forever 21. I've been doing it for the whole time. I was back in gas. I don't have to go through that. Bitch, you wanted me to though. Mind you, the bitches that love to be a hoe always want you to be doing some shit. Ain't no boss bitch wanting for a fucking thing. Girl, bye. White girl. You knew that, right? Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video. No more Forever 21. RIP. God rest his soul. Amen. You started your purpose. You really did have a good run. I still have a pretty cute little makeup, little pink thingamabob. It's hot pink. And I use it to clean out my makeup brushes. It's really been cool. There was another little spot that I liked some too. That was a really cute spot and moment. And it was kind of sort of like, oh, cool, this is really great, really cute, whatever else. And all the little girlies had all these moments, and I'm just doing my little one too. And here they come with more things that they want. And I'm just like, this is just Forever 21 stuff, got some stuff. Like, this stuff is cute, you know what I mean? Like, But why can't you go head on out and do the same thing? So that's how this is kind of birthed and born when I come to deal with style and mindset. I have such a unique style when I realize that other girls are envious of it or admire it and want it or whatever else, and to have it and whatever else. I try to create a space so that they can come and really see what those ideas look like from a first-hand basis. But it's going to cost you a fee. But I feel like that's fair. You know what I mean? You're not going to keep constantly feeling like it's cool to get everything and then don't give nobody else nothing. You know what I mean? Like that just still feels like a hoe. That's just my personal opinion. Anyway, educated nonetheless.